Welcome to the Gentleman's Guide to Gaming, broadcasting from Midwinter Gaming Convention, so I have to apologise for any background noise. This is Saturday morning, just before the booth opens, just before the convention opens to customers, and I just wanted to show you some of the books we have on sale and give you some of the announcements that we've made at this convention. So let's have a look and see what we're selling to customers this weekend, and some of these have been selling remarkably well over the last couple of days. We have got Cavaliers of Mars. Cavaliers of Mars only just came out in the last couple of months, prior to our expected release date. Cavaliers of Mars, of course, is a swashbuckling game set on the planet Mars. Lots of heists, jumping through windows, dueling people with rapiers, but of course on Mars. It's a wonderful game. I've played a lot of it. We have Pugmire, which you'll be very familiar with, and the other early release of Monarchies of Mao. So if dogs aren't your thing, cats might be. We've got medieval fantasy in the form of anthropomorphic creatures. And we also have the Scarred Lands Adventures and Player's Guides, both in Dungeons & Dragons and Pathfinder flavours. And Scarred Lands has been doing really well. We've certainly been pushing it. It's one of our owned properties now, and it's one of my favourite D&D campaign settings, so I'm glad that it's been doing so well here. Now, over on this table, some games you're going to be very familiar with too. We have the deluxe copy of Demon the Descent. We've got Chronicles of Darkness, the core rulebook, which is always very popular at our conventions. And probably most excitingly of all, for Chronicles of Darkness fans, we have Changeling the Lost 2nd edition, which has just started shipping out to backers. Most backers have received it by now, which is why we're now selling it at our booth, and it will soon be on sale on Drive-Thru RPG as well. We have V20 Dark Ages in deluxe flavour. We've got Beckett's Jihad Diary, both deluxe and regular edition. Some Changing the Dreaming dice. You may be unfamiliar with the fact that they exist, but you can buy them. I think if you go on IPR, Indie Press Revolution, you'll be able to actually buy those Changing the Dreaming dice, and they're beautiful dice. Got copies of Prince's Gambit for sale, and Changeling the Dreaming 20th Anniversary Edition Deluxe. Now, if you missed the Kickstarters for those deluxe editions, you can actually still buy a lot of them from Indie Press Revolution, so I recommend you check out that website. Now, the booth is going to open up very soon. Customers are going to start pouring in, so I'll be very quick with other announcements. We announced a few games at this convention. We announced Sion Dragon, which is a more medieval fantasy-inspired Scion game, still set in the world of Scion, where you're playing the descendants of dragons, or I guess you could say a third race. You have your gods, your titans, and you have your dragons. And Danielle Lauzon will be developing that. She's the developer of Vampire the Requiem and 7th Sea. We also have a Scion Cthulhu game coming out, which Chris Spivey of Darker Hue Studios and Harlem Unbound, any award-winning Harlem Unbound, is going to be developing, where the elder gods of H.P. Lovecraft will also be in the world of Scion. You'll be able to play the children of Yog-Sothoth, Cthulhu, Azathoth, and that promises to be quite interesting and macabre. But something I know you'll all be very excited about too is we announced Colts of the Blood Gods for Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition, and that's a book I'm going to be developing. So we are doing yet another V5 book alongside Chicago by Night, the 2 Chicago by Night stretch goals. We have Colts of the Blood Gods, and that is the book that promises to delve into kindred religion, such as the Cainite heresy, or Church of Cain if you're feeling generous, the Bahari, and the Hecata, the clan of death, in its many faces. The Giovanni, the Cappadocians, the Harbingers, the Samdi, they will all appear in this book in one form or other, because they're the ultimate doomsday cult. They want for the end of days in various fashions, and they now exist as an entity, not necessarily cohesive, and the Giovanni are undoubtedly prominent, known as the Hecata in V5. We've announced these games, and Scion Demigod has been talked about, Pirates of Pugmire has been talked about. We've been receiving a lot of interest at Midwinter, and it's a convention. It's not the biggest convention, but it's one of the best feeling conventions I've attended. Everyone here is so enthusiastic, they love the games, and if you can ever make it out to Midwinter, I certainly recommend it. But I hope those announcements excite you. If you're interested in any of the books I've displayed, look them up on drivethrurpg.com, look them up on Indie Press Revolution, and of course check out theonyxpath.com for more news on future releases. Thank you very much for watching.